Welcome back to House Rose Reviews. We're your host, Kyle Hodder, with first of the three Royal Rumble reviews of 2026. And these are all strictly from the Ruthless Aggression era, Royal Rumble 2005. Yeah. We're going to take a look at Royal Rumbles from the Ruthless Aggression era, which you obviously know the WrestleMania reviews will be 21, 22, and 23. Yeah, I know. 22! Anyways, let's get on to this revisit of this event. January 30th, it was a Raw and SmackDown event because it's a Big Four pay-per-view at the Save Mark Center in Fresno, California. So, there is that. Yeah. Let's start off. We're on 2005. And these Rumble reviews are always going to be long regardless because, one, I do every entry for the Royal Rumble eliminations also, so get ready for that. Yeah. Anyways, let's get on to it with Royal Rumble 2005. I know I didn't do this last year, but we're doing it here. So, and the reason why, because well, obviously I had to do WrestleMania 9 because it was in Vegas. Yeah. Although it wasn't as bad as Mania 11, I think. But yeah. Anyways, enough of that. We started with Edge defeating Shawn Michaels. This started all the way back at Taboo Tuesday, where Shawn Michaels won a fan poll to get the world title match instead of Edge, which that was, according to Edge, if he would have won the poll, he would have gotten the world title at that night. Honestly, thank God he didn't win the poll because New Year's Revolution 2006, I did that 2 weeks ago, by the way, would never happened. It's one of those crazy what if scenarios. And no, those are not coming back anytime soon on the main channel. Because I ran out of ideas on there. Anyways. So there's that. And then Shawn caused Edge the world title at the Elimination Chamber inside the Elimination Chamber at New Year's Revolution, which was a terrible pay-per-view, by the way. Like a few weeks after that was won by Triple H. Well, Michaels was the referee in that match and all that. And both these guys are going to be in the Royal Rumble match anyways. But this was the match that Edge broke out that glass ceiling of mid-cards and became a main eventer after that. And all in all, it was a really good match, and I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Yeah. Anyways, before I get to the next match, I gotta talk about the Eddie Guerrero Ric Flair segment throughout this night. So, they do the Rumble Tumblr where wrestlers get their entry numbers. Ric Flair and Eddie Guerrero were the best, well, Cena and Christian were the second best ones, and then the later one with Batista getting his number where Bischoff says that Evolution was banned from ringside and all that. You know, Christian tries to rap in front of Cena, but Cena was better at that. And all that. And then, and the best one was Eddie Guerrero and Ric Flair, where Ric Flair got number 30, spoiler alert, and Eddie Guerrero got the number 1 entrant, another spoiler alert before we get to the Royal Rumble. Ric Flair was so excited to get number 30, and then Taylor says, "Are you sure about that number, player?" And then Ric Flair realized Eddie Guerrero stole his number and threw out the. And then Eddie got give him his Ric Flair's number to Teddy Long, and then he gave him his wallet also. Which, how the fuck he stole his wallet? Comedy gold right there. It's so funny. Anyways, yeah, I had to bring that up because when you think of Royal 05 before the match, you think of the aggro Ric Flair stuff and that. And yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, the next match is a casket match. The Undertaker defeats Heidenreich. Heidenreich cost Undertaker the WWE Championship 2 times. They also have a match at Survivor Series '04. And yeah, and Heidenreich, like I said, cost Taker twice the WWE Championship. Once at No Mercy, and the other was at Armageddon. And yeah, this casket match was not good at all. But I found this a little more better than the World Heavyweight Championship match. But yeah. And to think, this feud was supposed to continue after the Royal Rumble because the original plan was supposed to have Snitsky got involved in this match as well as Kane came out of the casket. That's kind of familiar to what I did back in October. You know, my action figure stuff. That was before I just separate the brands and all that. Couldn't make to say, but that was supposed to lead to a tag match at WrestleMania 21 where the Brothers of Destruction faced Heidenreich and Snitsky. Can you imagine if that match happened? Oh, God. Heidenreich tries to pin Undertaker in the match and refereeing in this match, and Nick Patrick, the referee, by the way, was telling him, you can't pin him, you have to put him in the casket. Like, what a moron. I hate when Undertaker's opponents do that. Taker won. Chokeslam, tombstone, puts him in a casket. 3.5 out of 10 I'll give it. Yeah. And honestly, thank God this feud was over afterwards. Also, Paul Heyman was not in a part of this because he got in trouble because he was taken off TV after this and he was sent home after this and we won't see him again until One Night Stand in 2005 and all that. And you know, yeah. Regardless of that, we get the next match, a triple threat match for the WWE Championship. JBL defeats Big Show and Kurt Angle to retain the WWE Championship in this triple threat match. It was a solid triple threat match for the WWE Championship. Big Show looked dominant in this match and all that, but JBL sneaks his way into another victory. And Tay Long tells him after this, he says, you're going to face the Big Show play in a barbed wire steel cage match and no barbed wire steel cage match and no way out. Which we'll get to that next month. Actually, that'll be right after Royal Rumble 2007. Spoiler alert. Yeah. 6.5 I give it. The cabinet got involved in Kurt Angle's protege got involved also. To stop Big Show from winning this, that's reason why. And then later on, Kurt Angle stole Nunzio's number, which we'll get to that. Anyways. Next up is for the World Heavyweight Championship. Triple H defeats Randy Orton to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. I seen these two. They don't mesh well together. They were better off being a part of Evolution, all that. Orton face run. This was the nail in the coffin for his face run and all that. And Triple H was going to face Batista at WrestleMania 21, but the original plan was to have Orton win the Rumble here and face Triple H at WrestleMania 21, which, thank God they went with the plan they went with, more than when I get to the main event. And all that, because Batista was getting more over as a babyface and all that. Orton won a match to get the... He defeats Batista to get this opportunity at the World title here at the Rumble, but still... These two do not mesh well together. There's that. I give it a 2.5 out of 10. Yes, I'm ranking it worse than Undertaker versus Heidenreich, believe it or not. Anyways. Now it's time for the Royal Rumble match. And And the first two to start the off were the same two who closed out WrestleMania 20. Eddie Guerrero was number 1, and number 2 was Chris Benoit, the man who won the 2004 Royal Rumble, which I did on Here's a Remaster and all that. Then number 3 was Daniel Puder, and he got the fucking chop out of him. Like, literally in the match. And then number 4 was Hardcore Holly, and Jim Ross says, Hardcore doesn't like anyone, but he hates rookies. Oh boy. Then he joined in the chop fest between Benoit and Guerrero. And then Puder was the first one eliminated, and the Hurricane came out at number 5, and then Hardcore Holly was the next one eliminated also. And then number 5 was the Hurricane, and he didn't last long. He gets eliminated by both Benoit and Guerrero. And then number 6 was Kento Suzuki. There's that. Number 7 was Edge. Number 8 was Rey Mysterio, and then Suzuki was next eliminated by Rey Mysterio and all that. Sorry about that. Number 9 was Shelton Benjamin. Number 10 was Booker T. Number 11 was Chris Jericho. I believe it's another... No, not yet. We're not there yet. Number 12 was Luther Reigns. And then during this, Eric Bischoff and Tay Long comes down, and then they do that Rumble commercial spot, which... Fun fact about that Rumble commercial spot, that was filmed in Universal Studios the month prior to this event. If you know the reference, Turning Point 2 and 4. And yeah. That was the whole, Cookie Gate thing, which... It is what it is, really. Anyways, they do a little SmackDown vs. Raw fight in the middle of the Royal Rumble, which happens before Survivor Series, like a few months after this, which I did that Survivor Series 05 review I did back in November, so whatever. 13 was Muhammad Hassan. Yeah, we're not gonna mention that. And then everybody beat the fuck out of him, and he got eliminated right away. 14 was Orlando Jordan. And number 15 was Sky Clay, who did not enter the match, really. Because Muhammad Hassan attacked him and all that. 16 was Charlie Haas, and who was the 7th man eliminated? Yeah, Luther Reigns was eliminated by Booker T, and then Orlando Jordan was also eliminated by Booker T. And then Booker T was also eliminated by Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero. And then number 17 was Rene Dupree. And then number 18 was Simon Dean, who was Nova in the original ECW, but then afterwards, Edge would eliminate Eddie Guerrero, and yeah, also Shelton Benjamin was also eliminated. Shelton Benjamin was also eliminated. Yeah, Edge did too. And then Eddie was the next one eliminated by Edge. Eddie Guerrero also was the next one eliminated by Edge. Blech. 19 was Shawn Michaels, who eliminates Simon Dean. Number 20 was, surprisingly, Kurt Angle, who gets eliminated by Shawn Michaels. 21 was Jonathan Coachman. Jim Ross says, just look at his ass. It's got Coachman on his ass. Like, on his pants, rather. Like, really? Number 22! Yeah, coincidence. Was Mark Jindrak. And then Kurt Angle then eliminates Shawn Michaels afterwards. That set up the WrestleMania 21 match between those two. So, there's that. And then Rene Dupree was next eliminated by Chris Jericho. Tag had to do the, I'm the French man. Left me afraid of Jericho to throw him the fuck out of there. 23 was Viscera. 24 was Paul London. 25 was John Cena, who eliminates Viscera. And then 26 was Snitsky, who eliminates Paul London. 27 was Kane. I want to find out who was the 19th man to get eliminated. Hold on. Oh, jeez. The 19th elimination. Yeah, Mark Jindrak was eliminated by Kane. So, there's that. 28 was Batista, who eliminates Snitsky, and then there's 21 eliminated. One elimination. Who was it? Chris Jericho was also eliminated by Batista. 29 was Christian, and then finally number 30 was Ric Flair, who I already mentioned in that segment with him and Guerrero. It was fucking priceless and all that. Coach, I believe, was the next one eliminated. Yeah, by Ric Flair. And then Christian was also eliminated by Batista. Then, who was it? Benoit was 25th, next one to go out. Yeah, by Ric Flair and Batista. And then Ric Flair tries to throw Batista out, but then Ric Flair fell out over, which, yeah. Edge didn't eliminate Ric Flair afterwards. Then the final four was Edge, Rey Mysterio, John Cena, and Batista. So, and yeah, that whole myth of they really only pushed Rey Mysterio in 2006 because Eddie died. Well, they were testing the waters with Rey here in this Royal Rumble match, but he was eliminated by Edge, and then Edge was the next one eliminated by Batista and Cena. It came down between Cena and Batista, and this is infamous for that, or famous rather, for that spot where both Cena and Batista both fell over the top rope, but that wasn't the plan going into it, because Batista was supposed to hold on to the ropes and Batista was going to win like that, but then, you know, they fucked up all the time. So there's that. Then Vince comes out and tore both his quads. The match just continues afterwards, and Batista just threw him out regardless, and threw Cena out anyway. So Batista won the Royal Rumble match last eliminated John Cena. So yeah. And yeah, 10 I'll give it, but yeah. Although it was a good Rumble match. And we all know Batista would, well, more than when I talk about No Way Out in a month from now. So anyways, that was Royal Rumble 2005. Although it was a solid event outside of the casket match and the world title match, everything else was solid. So, I give it a 6.5 out of 10. But anyways, next week we Royal Rumble 2006. And then the week after that we Royal Rumble 2007, because we're doing some Royal Rumbles, okay? Royal Rumble 2006 next week. And tomorrow will be my SmackDown review, and then episode 3 of United and all that. And I'm done for tonight. But those will be on my main channel, by the way. So like this video, comment below, subscribe to this channel, Vacation Channel, and there. Bye-bye.